The Secret Misses. Chapter 881. Tiffany is an outsider but you're an insider. We're much more intimate with each other, Could Theo say no? Theo stiffened his expression and tensed up his thin lips, then he said with a cold expression, yes. Luna instantly nipped his chin like a happy little cat and said, I know Big Boss loves me the most. Theo was helpless at the sight of the girl's mischievous little face. He had already pampered her to this extent. Who could he blame? However, when he thought about how her act of unruliness like that of a spoiled child pretty much only belonged to him, he felt very satisfied. You can meet her, but you can't do anything out of line. At last, Theo mentioned his criteria with a serious expression. He was obviously referring to the incident of her pushing Tiffany onto the bed the other day. Don't worry, I definitely won't. Actually, it's normal for girls to be close to each other, so you don't have to be so worried. There's no way I would like girls. Luna said. Theo did not say anything. He only looked at her and maintained an obviously suspicious attitude. When she noticed Theo's disbelieving expression, Luna squinted, then pushed the man onto the sofa. She lowered her voice to say, Are you still confused about whether I like men or women? Theo held the back of her head and kissed her hard. I need some clarity. The next morning, Luna made her way out 20 minutes earlier than the agreed meeting time based on her principle of punctuality when on a date with girls. When she was about to reach the meeting point, she received a call from Tiffany. On the other end, Tiffany's voice sounded nervous. Luna, are you there yet? I just reached, answered Luna. I'm sorry, Luna, there seems to be an accident up front and it's really congested. I'll probably be late, I'm very sorry. No worries, I'll shop around nearby and wait for you. Don't rush, be careful on the road. Safety first, okay? Okay. After she hung up, Luna started to shop around the mall. This was the largest premium outlet mall in Imperial with rows and rows of luxury brand shops. They practically had all the huge brands you could think of. On the contrary, brands that could afford the rent on an outlet, there were definitely reputable ones. Just as she was casually window shopping, a shop with a vintage style caught her eye. Luna stood before the store and could not help but pause in her step. This was History's new branch. As she looked at History's shop sign, Luna felt slightly rueful. Even though her studio had begun to reap profits, it was still relying on private orders. They did not have a single boutique of their own yet. With the aim of learning and observing, Luna prepared to walk in to shop around. Welcome to History. There was the sweet sound of greeting from inside the store. Miss, what style are you looking for? One of them had enthusiastically walked over to attend to her. Luna propped up her sunglasses on her head and said, I'm just looking around, don't bother about me. Okay, if you need anything, please feel free to call me. After all, this was prime location. History's storefront had obviously cost quite a bit. From the exterior to the interior, it oozed with luxury. To fit with the style of the apparel, the interior design was inclined towards an oriental style, using the classic screen with paintings of flowers and birds. Mahogany seats, rattan sofa sets, and ancient vases were as decoration, giving one the vibe of traveling back in time. Chapter 882. Of course, apart from that, the most important thing was the clothes. Tiffany had not arrived, and Luna was so focused on studying the competitor that she lost track of time. Seeing that Luna had been browsing for a long time and did not seem to have any intention of purchasing anything, some of the shop assistants were starting to become upset. When they evaluated the way Luna dressed, they started to look unfriendly towards her. Excuse me, miss, it's the weekend and the peak of business in our store. There are too many customers in the store, so if you're not interested in buying anything, could you please go elsewhere and not disrupt our business? Luna was just about to say something when the shop assistants gazed past her, before they practically skipped towards the entrance. Miss Aaliyah, Miss Maya. Quickly come in. The two of you have come at such a good time. Some stock have just newly arrived today, you will definitely love them. Luna subconsciously turned around and saw that it was Emma's close girlfriends, Aaliyah and Maya. The shop assistants knew that the two were the close friends of their boss, Emma. Plus, they were socialites with high spending power, hence they were extraordinarily friendly. When Aaliyah saw Luna, she instantly looked as if she had seen a fly. "Myra, why are you guys receiving trashy visitors? What happened earlier?" Maya asked. The shop assistant looked towards Luna and said, "Do you both know her? This customer has been looking around for a long time without buying anything. In fact, she was wearing Spirit's clothes. I suspect that she is intentionally nitpicking, so I just advised her to go elsewhere." Luna thought her words were funny. Could she not walk into a Hermes store if she wore Chanel? However, this did reveal a message to her. It looked like history was watching Spirit rather closely, to the point of taking strict precautions, or else, a shop assistant would not have such enmity towards Spirit and even recognize that her outfit was from Spirit. Aaliyah crossed her arms and insulted, this kind of person, who can't afford higher-end items and can only buy imitation goods, is obviously here just to nitpick." Maya looked like she suddenly thought of something and said in an exaggerated tone, "Luna, where's your black card? Right, didn't you swipe it rather coolly the last time? Why don't you take it out now to continue swiping? Why? Have you been ditched? What are you guys talking about? Luna, you're here too." At that moment, Emma walked in from the outside. "Miss Brown." All the shop assistants greeted Emma when they saw her. Aaliyah walked over and intimately clung onto her arm. "Emma, you're here. This woman is so annoying. She shamelessly came here to contaminate your shop." Emma said gently, "Aaliyah, don't put it that way. Anyone who walks in is a guest. The motto of our service is that customers are God. Well, you should still see what kind of customers those are. You are a higher-end brand. If other customers see that you have random people here buying your brand, it would ruin the reputation of your brand." At that very moment, a firm voice was heard from behind. "I want this, all of this to be taken away." When she heard the familiar voice, Luna instinctively looked up and saw Tiffany talking to a shop assistant as she pointed to the row of clothes with a cold expression. Okay, I'll help you pack them." "You want all of this?" The shop assistant did not think that she would suddenly close such a huge deal without a single word, and she was obviously excited. All of it. Miss Tiffany." When Emma saw who it was, her eyes brightened and she immediately ditched Luna and the rest to walk up to her. "I didn't think that you would like history's clothes too, Miss Tiffany. This is a huge honor." Chapter 883. "Who are you?" Tiffany looked arrogantly at the woman who had suddenly walked over to strike up a conversation with her. "Miss, this is our boss," the shop assistant beside her quickly introduced. "Miss Tiffany, my surname's Brown. Here's my name card." Emma extended a name card to her, then looked pointedly at the shop assistant and announced, "Miss Tiffany, I'll give you all of these clothes for free." Tiffany raised her brows at this sudden generosity. "What are you trying to imply?" Emma smiled benevolently. "The fact that you like history's clothes is our honor, Miss Tiffany. All these clothes would be considered a small sincerity from me. To see our clothes being worn by those who are befitting of them makes me happier than any profit." Aaliyah and Maya were whispering to each other. "Miss Tiffany. Which Miss Tiffany is this? So many clothes, they're probably worth hundreds of thousands in total, yet Emma is actually giving them away so casually. Her surname is Sterling, could it be the daughter of that General Sterling?" When Maya thought this, she suitably walked up to strike a conversation. "Miss Tiffany, it's no wonder you like history's clothes. Your charisma is classic, very suitable to wear such a style." When she thought about how she could be acquainted with the legendary family's daughter, Aaliyah did not back down either. "Yeah, especially this moonstone white. It especially suits you. There are some other new designs in the store. Would you like to try them on?" Luna had completely been pushed to the back. When she saw that Tiffany was buying the clothes, she could not immediately leave, so she sat down on the sofa and thought of leaving with her when she was done. At that moment, the shop assistants who had tried to assist Luna earlier were very angry as they saw that she still did not want to leave. Furthermore, because they had argued with her, they had lost such a huge business deal. However, at the same time, there was a VIP present and it was not courteous to chase someone out and disrupt the customer's shopping experience, so they could only stare at her with a condescending gaze. Luna was in a daze. She held her chin and looked at Tiffany, posing as though she was a man waiting for his girlfriend to be done shopping. Finally, Tiffany was all wrapped up with shopping. "Miss Tiffany, I've packed up all of your clothes." The shop assistants arranged a variety of big and small bags of apparels. "Okay." Tiffany nodded. Emma looked at the clothes, then considerately offered, "It seems a little heavy, Miss Tiffany. I'll get my people send it to your residence later on, all right?" "No need for that," Tiffany immediately rejected. "Also, thank you for your well intentions, but I won't accept a reward if I don't deserve it, so there's no need to give them to me for free." Emma's initial intention was to be acquainted with Tiffany, and she had achieved that by chatting with her earlier. She knew that Tiffany would not easily accept someone else's gift, so she did not insist on it and asked the shop assistants to give a discount instead. "Please come to visit us again. If there's a latest design the next time, I'll have the shop assistants reserve some for you." Emma was prepared to send her out when she saw Tiffany did not walk towards the entrance after settling her bill. Instead, she walked towards the direction behind her. "Luna. Done shopping?" Luna looked up and smiled to ask. Tiffany nodded, then she suddenly handed all the bags towards Luna. "Here, for you." "Ah." Luna was stunned. "For me?" Tiffany pursed her lips shyly. Her eyes were as clear as day and they revealed a gaze like that of a child anticipating praise. All for you. You like this brand's apparels, don't you?" Chapter 884. When Tiffany was outside earlier, she had seen through the display shelves that Luna was paying a lot of attention towards the clothes. Then when she walked in, she had coincidentally witnessed the scene of her being mocked and ridiculed by the shop assistants and those women, so she could not help but buy those clothes, wanting to give them to her. When Luna saw the girl's sincere expression of wanting to make her happy and backing her up, she felt her heart about to melt. How could someone be this cute? However, at that moment when they saw this, Aaliyah and Maya were looking at each other, while all the other shop assistants were completely dumbfounded. They never would have thought that the honored guest that had received such a courteous treatment from their boss would actually know this customer who could not afford anything and did not want to leave. In fact, they were obviously very close. The most awkward thing was that they had all thought that Miss Tiffany loved the clothes in their shop. They even complimented her charisma and her eye for fashion. At last, she did not even like the clothes in their shop, but had only bought them to give them away. The person who was most shocked had to be Emma. Since when had Luna gotten acquainted with someone like Tiffany? When she knew Rebecca's family background, she had long wanted to thread the connection with the Sterling family. In fact, she thought that Tiffany, who was the same age as her, would be the best person to do this. Sadly, the two of their identities were still too distant, so it was too hard to find a suitable opportunity to befriend her. Today, she had unexpectedly bumped into Tiffany visiting her own store. It was an extremely good opportunity from the gods. Who would have known that it would have turned out this way, turning around to hit her on the head? "Luna, what's wrong?" Tiffany was actually rather attentive and sensitive. She felt like she had detected something and asked worriedly, Did I misunderstand? Do you not like this brand's clothes?" Luna did not want to lie to her, so she nodded and just said, Indeed I don't." When she heard this, Emma almost gritted her teeth into powder. Damn it, this witch was doing this on purpose. How dare she slander history in front of Tiffany? Why was she so stubborn? If she did not like them, why had she come and looked around for so long? If Luna's words had been more tactful, she could still try to cover up and then use this opportunity to befriend Tiffany, then she would not mind giving Luna as many clothes as she wanted. In the end, this witch Luna had unexpectedly said this instead. This witch thinks that she had struck her sensitive spot, but did she not know that such a harsh rejection was practically ridding Tiffany of her face before so many people? For an arrogant lady such as Tiffany, even if she was close to you, how could she tolerate Luna's wanton and rude action? Ah, is that so? I thought you liked them. The sparkle in Tiffany's eyes dimmed quite a bit. When Luna saw the helpless girl, her eyes were filled with closeness and sincere liking. She slowly said, "Well, I initially didn't like them, but..." "But, what?" Tiffany looked nervous. Luna took over one of the bags from Tiffany, then naturally held out her hand and turned towards her, revealing a loving smile to say, "But love for a person extends even to the crows on their roof." Chapter 885. The instant that low and husky voice uttered, "Love for a person extends even to the crows on their roof," Tiffany's entire heart felt like it had been engulfed by the warm sea. All her initial nervousness and insecurities dissipated as if she had been consoled by a gentle hand, softly patting her head. Since she was a child, her father had educated her and her brother military style. Even her mother's expectations of her were extremely high as well. She had never experienced this feeling of being pampered by someone's hand. Tiffany looked at her hand in Luna's and felt the entirety of the girl's tender and warm hand. Suddenly, she tossed all the bags of clothes onto the sofa, then pulled away the bags in Luna's hands too. She held Luna's arm and uttered happily, "Since you don't like them, then we won't have it. Let's go shop wherever you like." Tiffany chirped as she happily pulled Luna away from the shop. They could not bear to look on as the clothes that had been highly praised by Emma, Aaliyah, Maya, and the other shop assistants were casually tossed aside in the store. "Boss, At that moment, one of the shop assistants reacted in horror and looked awkwardly at the pile of clothes. Emma suppressed the emotions within her and calmed herself down. "Refund all of Miss Tiffany's money from the transaction earlier." The shop assistant nodded. "Okay." Aaliyah looked in bewilderment towards the direction that Luna and Tiffany had left. "Emma, what's going on? Why is Tiffany so nice to that bumpkin Luna?" Maya pouted. "Who knows what black magic that witch has used?" Aaliyah scoffed, think about what kind of family the Sterling are. She can't just get acquainted easily. If the two generals find out that Tiffany is being badly influenced, she would really get it." When she heard this comment, Emma's eyes suddenly lit up. If she planned well, perhaps this could be a good opportunity for her to thoroughly resolve all of her problems. Or else, if she really let Luna foster good relationships with the Sterling family, things would be difficult for her. Tiffany was having a good time shopping with Luna when her phone beeped. It was a message from the bank, informing her that the money she had paid to History earlier had been refunded. "What is it?" "Nothing. That shop earlier returned the money to me." She knew very well what Emma's intentions were. There were too many people like her and she did not pay any mind to her. However, there was one thing that bothered her. Tiffany suddenly thought of something and looked at Luna to ask hesitantly, "Luna, do you have some past grudges with those people earlier? Do you need help?" When she saw Tiffany's caring demeanor, Luna felt her heart warm. "No worries, they're just unimportant people. If you need anything, you must let me know." "Okay." "Oh, Luna, the outfit on you is really, really nice. What brand is it? I heard them say it's called Spirit or something. Do you like their outfits?" Tiffany's eyes were sparkling, revealing her intentions of wanting to buy everything for her. Luna laughed slightly. "It's Spirit, and their style is close to History's. That's why they're considered competitors, but this brand has only just started. It has not reached History's level of influence." Chapter 886. That doesn't matter. Most importantly, you like it. Let's go shop there. Tiffany enthusiastically said. "There's no need to buy," said Luna. Why? Actually, you don't have to worry too much. You saved my grandfather, so my family and I are very grateful to you. However, to just give you money would be too disrespectful, so I'm just doing my best to help you." Luna gently looked at her. "I understand where you're coming from, and I've said before that it was only a slight effort, so you really don't have to do so much for me. I'd actually feel really pressured if you keep treating me like a savior. I only want to befriend you because I think I'm quite happy being with you, and we get along quite well." Me too. Tiffany nodded gleefully. So, just treat this as a present from a friend. Luna laughed. There's really no need, spirit is my brand. Ah. Really? Tiffany was surprised. Luna and Tiffany chatted and shopped as though they had endless things to talk about. Without realizing it, evening had arrived and the two found a place to stop for dinner. Tiffany's eyes were filled with yearning as she listened to Luna's interesting stories from her time abroad as well as the ingenious opportunities when building Spirit Studio. Luna, I'm so jealous of you. You can live so freely, wonderfully, and meet so many interesting people and things. You have someone that you like, plus a dream and a goal that you're working hard towards, living every day of your life to the fullest. Luna never would have thought that the day she was envied of would come. Talking about jealousy, shouldn't you be the one everyone's jealous of? Even though she was making her way towards the light today, she had once faced darkness and hopelessness in the past. Tiffany laughed wryly. Right, I have everything, and I can easily get anything I want, but everything I've done since I was young was to follow the wishes of my family. Neither do I even know what I really want, nor do I have anything I especially want to do. Everything I do must be rid of selfishness first and prioritize my family's honor. Isn't this a kind of sorrow too? Everyone has their own troubles, even the world's richest person. Only those who drink the water would know its temperature. Luna quoted and could not help but think about Margot. She suddenly realized that Tiffany and Margot were two polar opposites. Tiffany had completely surrendered to the arrangements of her family and been trained to become the most perfect ladylike socialite, while Margot had thoroughly rebelled and done the complete of his family wishes, growing up in the most unruly manner. When they were done with dinner, Luna brought Tiffany to the arcade. It was hard to imagine that it was Tiffany's first time in the arcade. Everything was new and interesting to her. Husband, I want that long-eared bunny. Okay, wait for me, I'll help you get it. I'm not lying, I am indeed a claw machine expert. Husband, you're amazing. Go, husband. What are they doing? Tiffany looked curiously at the row of glass shelves which were filled with all sorts of cute stuffed toys. In front of one of it, a man had put in a few coins, then he started to focus on clicking the red button on it. Claw a stuffed toy. Each attempt costs 1 coin. Want to play? Luna asked. Chapter 887. But I don't know how to. Tiffany hesitated. It's okay, just try. Luna casually put in a few coins into the machine and taught Tiffany how to play the game. Okay, Luna, which one do you like? I'll help you claw it. Tiffany was eager to try. Sadly, Tiffany's luck was not that great. She had put in 10 coins and still did not catch anything at all. She looked as if she was on the verge of tears. Ha ha ha, pretty girl, it's not like this. There is a skill to clawing. You're purely here to waste your money right now, the man on the side, who had put in coins thrice and managed to claw 1 stuffed toy, pointed out proudly. When he saw that Luna and Tiffany were both rare beauties, his eyes bulged out of their sockets and he even dared to hit them up with his girlfriend beside him. So, ladies? Do you need my help? You bastard. Are you stuck on your feet because you see pretty girls? I'm not dead yet. I'm just helping them. The group of single boys in the arcade began to notice them and a few had walked up to them. After all, most of them who were there were couples and it was rare to see beauties like Luna and Tiffany accompanying each other. Beautiful, which one do you want? I'll help you. Go away. Get your stinky hands of me. Gorgeous sister, allow me. I'm really good, I guarantee that within 3 attempts, no. Within 2 attempts, I will help you get something. Upon failing the 18th time, Tiffany was utterly defeated. She had always been praised as smart and excellent since she was young, but who would have known that she would be stopped by a little game like this, especially since she had said she would catch something for Luna. This was so embarrassing. Plus, there were a few guys who continued to disturb them, putting her in a worse mood. Luna shot a look at the young boys. They were probably students and were there to hook up with girls. She slowly put in 12 coins and said, allow me. Tiffany nodded in disappointment and moved away from her spot. You point, I'll claw, Luna said to Tiffany. I wanted to claw that bunny for you, but I just couldn't. Tiffany said frustratedly. Okay. Luna looked into the glass and then pressed the button. Hey, beautiful, you can't do that, there's a skill to clawing them. That bunny is in a position that is obviously hard to claw, you should get the one closer to the hole. You pressed the button too quickly earlier. You must wait for the right moment. Don't simply press down. With all the commotion beside her, Luna turned around to glare unhappily at the boys. Shut up. You're so noisy. Is there not enough homework? Why aren't you home when it's so late? Oh, this pretty sister is so fierce. But that's so hot. Ah. Pretty sister, you've got it, you've got it. At that moment, a few people suddenly started to yell excitedly and Tiffany was pleasantly surprised as well. Luna, you've really got it. She had simply pressed the button earlier and she did not expect to have really clawed it. That was such good luck. Luna nonchalantly took the bunny prize and stuffed it into Tiffany's arms, then continued to claw. Up next, there was a little pig, a chicken, a little goat, little tiger. Luna had actually used those 12 coins to retrieve all 12 zodiacs. Behind her, the guys, who had been boisterous earlier, were so shocked that their eyes almost rolled out of their heads as they looked at the furry animals in Tiffany's arms. Chapter 888. Whoa. Sis, you're way too cool. What is the likelihood of this happening? Master. Please take me in. Can you teach me how you did it? I want to learn too. After I learn this, I don't have to worry about picking up girls anymore. Go home and finish your homework, alright? You've not even reached puberty and here you are, thinking about getting girls. Luna helped Tiffany with a few of the stuffed toys, then grabbed her hand to walk away. Tiffany watched Luna with a glowing expression, practically worshipping her at this point. Behind them, a few boys were mumbling, so what if we haven't reached puberty? Is it that great that you as a girl are so good at getting girls? Give us men a chance. After they left the arcade, Tiffany held the bag of stuffed animals that Luna had clawed in satisfaction. She was so excited that her little face had turned red. Luna, I'm really happy today. Me too. Can we go out together again? Tiffany asked in anticipation. Of course, we can. Awesome. Tiffany was clearly overjoyed and already looking forward to the next outing. As the two walked along the road, Tiffany stole a look at Luna again and again. What is it? Luna asked. Tiffany quickly shook her head, but her face had suddenly turned increasingly scarlet. Luna was curious to know what thoughts were running through her mind. Luna laughed. Just say it already. We're friends, aren't we? Tiffany hesitated further before she finally stopped walking and said, Luna, I have a favor to ask. Tell me, I'll do it as long as I can, Luna answered her frankly. Tiffany asked with wavering eyes that reflected the moonlight above them, Can I see my dream guy? Luna was speechless by what she just heard, her brows raised in obvious shock. See her dream guy? Was Tiffany trying to say that she wants to see her in her male disguise? It was not difficult for her to dress in her male disguise. However, if that vinegar tank, Theo, ever found out, she would need a lot of effort to coax him again. When she saw that Luna did not reply immediately, Tiffany quickly apologized, I'm sorry. I know that my request is too random. Just pretend I didn't say anything. Luna contemplated for a while, then nonchalantly said to Tiffany, It's not too random. Of course, you can. In fact, you should have many chances of seeing your dream guy in the future. Luna said in a playful tone. What? Many chances? Tiffany did not quite understand what she meant. I've just recently accepted a role, and it's as a girl who disguises as a man, answered Luna. Ah. Really? Tiffany shrieked, feeling so excited that she did not care about her ladylike demeanor. Shoo, this is a secret, you can't tell anyone else. I won't. Tiffany quickly promised. Wait till I start shooting. I can tell the director that you're my friend, so you can visit me on set. As long as it doesn't affect the shoot and you don't reveal any of the contents, it shouldn't be much of a problem. Tiffany was practically bouncing. Really? That's so awesome. I'll definitely not affect the shoot or reveal anything. Actually, I've been very curious to see how movies are shot. When she saw Tiffany's happy face, Luna breathed a sigh of relief. Such an arrangement that was not a one-on-one meetup should not anger the devil. Sigh, she had really used up all her brain juice for this. Chapter 889. Luna, thank you. Thank you so much. I really like you so much. Tiffany turned around and hugged her tightly. There was nothing more delightful than being hugged by such a cute girl, so Luna smiled and replied, I like you too. At this moment, a car's headlights shone their way. A black Maybach slowly rolled to a stop beside the two of them. The door opened, and a pair of lean legs stepped out. The cold Theo had caught them off guard and appeared before them. At that instant, Luna almost knelt onto her knees. Jesus! Was God playing a trick on her? Why was history repeating itself? Luna quickly let go of Tiffany. Theo, why are you here? Theo then replied with a gloomy expression, to pick you up. Luna instantly remembered what Theo had said to her yesterday. He had told her that she could meet her, but not cross the line with any actions. Well, this is just great. She had completely gone back on her own guarantee. I thought I could send you home. When Tiffany saw Theo, she was obviously unhappy. She felt that Theo did not suit Luna at all. He was like a cold and hard rock with that frightening expression all the time too. Poor Luna. Could it be that Luna was forced? The more Tiffany thought about it, the more she began to worry. She evaded Theo and pulled Luna to the side and asked in a lowered voice, Luna, don't be afraid of him. If he bullies you, you must tell me. Don't shrink away or force yourself. Even though I don't have any way of going against him myself, I can let my father and grandfather help. Luna looked at Tiffany gratefully, then turned to look the devil who was staring at her and Tiffany whispering together with a stiff and frightening expression on his face. Pfft! With that face of his, it was no wonder that Tiffany would suspect that she was being bullied. Though, the truth was that he had been indulging and pampering her all along to the point of no return. Tiffany, thank you, but don't worry. He won't bully me. In fact, I love him very much, and neither am I wronged, nor do I feel forced. I am wholeheartedly willing to be with him. When Theo heard those words, his unhappiness due to the fact that his wife was being snatched immediately changed into a startled expression. This was the first time he had heard such words from Luna. She said that she loved him. This joy was truly unexpected. Tiffany had initially found it hard to understand. She felt that Theo and Luna did not fit at all. However, at that moment as she watched Luna's extremely serious expression and the warmth radiating from her eyes as she looked past her to Theo, she suddenly believed that the two of them truly loved each other. I'm leaving now, let's hang out again next time. Drive safe, Luna bade farewell to Tiffany. Tiffany waved reluctantly. Okay, As they spoke, the bag filled with Tiffany's stuffed toys had tore and the toys started to roll out. Theo bent down and picked up a bunny. What are these? Tiffany swept all the toys into her embrace and said proudly, the stuffed toys Luna helped me claw. Luna is amazing, she caught all 12 at once. You can't have this one, Theo stated as he unexpectedly took the bunny for himself with no intentions of returning it. Tiffany stomped angrily. Hey! That's mine. Theo held on to the bunny with a poker face. No, it's mine. Luna buried her face in her hand helplessly. Devil, could you be any more immature? Chapter 890. At the apartment. I'll go up then, good night. Luna was about to get down from the car when Theo suddenly reached out and held her arm gently, stopping her. Say that again. Huh? Say what? Luna looked over in confusion. The words you said to Tiffany earlier. Theo stared at her, his cold lake-like eyes seemed to waver with signs of stars and flames. What did I say to Tiffany earlier? Luna blinked, pretending not to understand. Tiffany said that I will bully you. What was your answer? Theo said as the starlight in his eyes slowly turned into a sea. Oh, that. Luna rubbed her chin and pretended to recall, then she said, thank you, but don't worry, he won't bully me. And? Neither wronged nor forced. And? Willing? Theo's lips pursed, obviously unhappy that he still had not heard what he wanted to. Luna finally could not help but laugh. It was rare to see Theo look this cute. In the next second, she closed in and said in a low, hoarse voice that could stir hearts. With her warm breath by his ear, she said, I really love him. Then, before Theo could act on anything, she ran out far and away as she waved cunningly, Oyasumi. As he watched that little thing run off after teasingly, Theo cursed softly. His eyes caught the furry white bunny beside him. He picked it up and punished it by pinching its bunny ears with his slender fingers. In the next few days, Luna continued to follow up with the situation on SF's company's side. At last, she was told that the person in charge had yet to return from his work trip, thus she could only set the issue aside temporarily. The good news was that even though Luna had only appeared for a few minutes in Our 18-Year-Old Youth, as the male lead's first love, her popularity was boosted. After the movie ended, many people were asking about the identity of the actress who played the role of the first love. At last, the internet raved that it was Isabella. However, that face did not look like Isabella's. Because so many people were asking about the girl's identity, the movie's official Weibo answered right away that it was Luna. There was also a picture of the first love in Our 18-Year-Old Youth, and Ella's still from The World, with Luna and Adam tagged in the pictures. Once the fans found out who the actress was, everyone was shocked. The actress who had acted as the first love was unexpectedly acted by the same person as the villain in The World, Ella. In The World, Luna was enticing, alluring, unruly, and passionate. Furthermore, she had an ancient wardrobe and heavier makeup. That was why when she had acted in a modern role as such a pure and beautiful character, no one could recognize her. Even though many of the audience had suspected that it might have been her, they did not dare think about it, yet it had really been her. From the devastatingly beautiful wicked female general to the 18-year-old at the prime of her youth, it was such a huge difference in personas, yet she had taken on the role perfectly. What made fans even more emotional was the fact that their favorite pairing, Ella and Eden, had unexpectedly been reunited in modern times again. Even more coincidentally, the ending in both of the shows was a separation in life and death again, making all their fans sob even more on the internet. At the same time, the fans of this pairing had significantly strengthened in numbers. Chapter 891. After realizing that Luna and Adam had a scene together, Freya watched the movie 3 times just for those precious few minutes. There were a lot of shippers just like Freya as well. The production committee mentioned that it was a modernized version of The World as a gimmick and was trying to attract more people to watch it. The movie investors even asked Jasper to reward Luna with a big red packet as a token of appreciation and also asked her to cooperate with the promotion. Luna did not see this unexpected windfall coming. Of course, she would not reject an offer that benefited both parties, so she shared the post from the official Weibo account and also attended a few roadshows. Among all the positive comments, there were bound to be some negative ones and some very nasty ones at that. Shouldn't this character be played by Isabella? How did it become Luna instead? Isn't it obvious? Someone must have forced her way through. How shameless, snatching roles just to be closer to Adam. That's crazy, it was just a minor character. I don't understand what Adam sees in her. He was totally being used. Actually, when Luna saw the cross-dressing script earlier, it was really just a small production with roughly only $10 million of investment. While it was impossible to get a female lead in a big production with her current level of fame, she could still fight for some leading roles in small productions. However, after Isabella got the role and made a fuss about it, it became one of the most invested series and many renowned celebrities joined the fray. Apparently, Isabella had paid some people to help her to attack Luna on the internet, supported by the assumption that Millie was the future lady boss of Glory World. Unfortunately for her, before Luna and Stacy got to take action, Jasper had clarified that it was Isabella who dishonored the contract, prompting them to ask Luna for help. Therefore, any role-snatching rumors were dismissed instantly, and he even harshly criticized Isabella's behavior. He even mentioned that he would never hire her for any future movie production he was involved in. At Glory World Entertainment, Luna got a call from Stacy to meet her in the office. On the way there, she met Isabella and her posse in the hallway. Luna's conflict with Millie's gang was almost common knowledge. As long as it was not under the scrutiny of the public, they had no reason to be nice to each other, so they did acknowledge each other, and Luna just ignored her and walked past them. Isabella raised her voice loudly as if afraid that Luna would not be able to hear her. "Oh, do you guys know that Jasper said he's never going to hire me ever again? He's just an outdated director. Who does he think he is?" Exactly, our 18-year-old youth spent so much on promoting that it can't even cover its cost yet. He doesn't even know who to look for support. Jasper's career would have ended by the time Isabel's new movie is out. Speaking of which, what's Luna doing recently? Anything new? She's just been promoting that trash movie with Jasper and Adam. I've not heard anything about the new movie. Even if she did, it wouldn't be anything popular. If she took on any big roles, she would have told the whole world about it. Chapter 891. After realizing that Luna and Adam had a scene together, Freya watched the movie 3 times just for those precious few minutes. There were a lot of shippers just like Freya as well. The production committee mentioned that it was a modernized version of The World as a gimmick and was trying to attract more people to watch it. The movie investors even asked Jasper to reward Luna with a big red packet as a token of appreciation, and also asked her to cooperate with the promotion. Luna did not see this unexpected windfall coming. Of course, she would not reject an offer that benefited both parties, so she shared the post from the official Weibo account and also attended a few roadshows. Among all the positive comments, there were bound to be some negative ones, and some very nasty ones at that. Shouldn't this character be played by Isabella? How did it become Luna instead? Isn't it obvious? Someone must have forced her way through. How shameless, snatching roles just to be closer to Adam. That's crazy, it was just a minor character. I don't understand what Adam sees in her. He was totally being used. Actually, when Luna saw the cross-dressing script earlier, it was really just a small production with roughly only $10 million of investment. While it was impossible to get a female lead in a big production with her current level of fame, she could still fight for some leading roles in small productions. However, after Isabella got the role and made a fuss about it, it became one of the most invested series and many renowned celebrities joined the fray. Apparently, Isabella had paid some people to help her to attack Luna on the internet, supported by the assumption that Millie was the future lady boss of Glory World. Unfortunately for her, before Luna and Stacy got to take action, Jasper had clarified that it was Isabella who dishonored the contract, prompting them to ask Luna for help. Therefore, any role-snatching rumors were dismissed instantly, and he even harshly criticized Isabella's behavior. He even mentioned that he would never hire her for any future movie production he was involved in. At Glory World Entertainment, Luna got a call from Stacy to meet her in the office. On the way there, she met Isabella and her posse in the hallway. Luna's conflict with Millie's gang was almost common knowledge. As long as it was not under the scrutiny of the public, they had no reason to be nice to each other, so they did acknowledge each other, and Luna just ignored her and walked past them. Isabella raised her voice loudly as if afraid that Luna would not be able to hear her. "Oh, do you guys know that Jasper said he's never going to hire me ever again? He's just an outdated director. Who does he think he is?" Exactly, our 18-year-old youth spent so much on promoting that it can't even cover its cost yet. He doesn't even know who to look for support. Jasper's career would have ended by the time Isabel's new movie is out. Speaking of which, what's Luna doing recently? Anything new? She's just been promoting that trash movie with Jasper and Adam. I've not heard anything about the new movie. Even if she did, it wouldn't be anything popular. If she took on any big roles, she would have told the whole world about it. Chapter 892. Stacy notified Luna of her new movie and her shooting schedule after she arrived at the office, advising her to prepare well. A few days later, it was the day of the shoot. Because it was Luna's first day, she needed to do a few trials. In addition to that, her makeup for this shoot was slightly more special, so in anticipation of needing more time, Luna went to the set much earlier. As the female lead, Luna had her own private makeup room and she had an exclusive makeup artist as well. A while later, the male lead, Diego, and the tertiary male character, Caleb, arrived as well. After some greetings and makeup, they sat and waited. Both of them looked young and had very outstanding looks. It was probably because they had not been dragged through the harsh bits of the entertainment industry yet, so they still had the aura of youth on them. Most importantly, their aesthetics could be easily recognized even among those with high beauty standards within the community. Diego was from a well-off family who supported him strongly. He sat on the chair quietly and closed his eyes, emitting a similar vibe as Adam's. With his distinguished looks and aura, he could easily attract girls and he fit the image of the male lead in the movie very well. Caleb was the embodiment of youth. At only 19 years of age, his canine teeth could be seen when he talked, making him look cute. Probably because he did not look manly enough, he was unable to find a character that suited him. Even though he was already under contract for a year, his manager, who was his aunt, had been looking out for him, but she did not want to simply assign him to a random character in fear of affecting his future career. That was until he passed the audition as the tertiary male character for Jasper's new movie, Dream Chaser. Although it was just a tertiary character, the director this time was the renowned God Maker, Jasper, so his aunt was really happy when she found out that he passed the audition and she quickly settled the contract for him. "Hey, Jasper, I heard that the female lead is a real beauty. I wonder if she looks as pretty as how they described the character in the movie." Caleb was still young and had a more carefree personality, so he tried to chat with Diego. Diego kept his eyes and mouth shut, seemingly interested. Although he was a new artiste as well, he was different from Caleb. He was a contracted artiste under one of the three main firms in the industry, Speedy Multimedia. He had gone through a long period of specialized training as the company's purpose was to create another Adam. It was therefore normal for the resourceful Diego to be a little more prideful. He was not particularly interested in talking to Caleb as the potential for the latter to become a male lead in the future was low. As for the female lead who was rumored to be all beautiful and impressive, he could not care any lesser. She was just a third-rate female artiste, and although her title was female lead, she was still there to support his character. He told his manager that if the female lead acted really badly, he would leave the production even if it meant breaching the contract, but for now, he would trust Jasper's decision. As they had discussed before, the manager analyzed him thoughtfully. Jasper had decided to create a movie without accepting any sponsors or role assigning, so he probably had some sort of trump card to be able to pull this off. But who was his trump card? Chapter 893. Caleb was a carefree guy, so he did not mind Diego's cold attitude. He sighed, then mumbled to himself, "I wonder what the director was thinking." He asked a female to act as a guy. What if she was too feminine? Can this really be popular? This was his first movie after all, and it would affect his career. It was true that Jasper had brought a lot of artistes to fame before, especially in his classic, Star, Moon, Sun. Even the supporting characters became popular, but times changed and it was a fact that Jasper's performance was not as good as before. Moreover, the investment in this movie was really low. Oh well, he was just a newbie. It was good enough to have a chance to act, and even work with a renowned director like Jasper. For the other future jobs, he would have to rely on luck. The entertainment industry relied on luck a lot anyway. A short while later, the female tertiary character, Arya, arrived as well. "Wow! She's so pretty," Caleb commented as he saw her. Diego took a peek. Arya was really pretty and she carried a cute and active personality, so she could easily make guys fall for her. However, she now looked really unhappy as she walked briskly and angrily with her manager following her behind, trying to convince her. I already said that I don't want to play the tertiary role here. If even Luna can become the female lead, why can't I? Please keep your voice down, my dear. We're not at home now. Are you trying to let everyone hear what you say? So what if they hear me? I'm here to tell them that I'm dissatisfied. I saw a video online about how Jasper publicly defended that woman. I wonder how she got her role this time. Shut up. Be careful when you're talking in public. I've told you many times. Don't talk about others. Don't you know about your own condition? You definitely can't handle the female lead role, you're not even qualified for the secondary lead, so this is best that you can do now. Do you think it's that easy taking on the female lead role? Of course, it's great if you can act it well. Otherwise, it'll become a black spot in your career. Arya suppressed her anger after being scolded by her manager, but her expression softened when she saw two handsome guys sitting nearby. Any girl her age would be happy if she was on the same crew as these handsome guys. Arya went over and greeted them. Hello, I'm Arya. Hello, I'm Caleb. Diego. Diego, I've heard about you before. I heard you're the best-looking guy in the film academy, aren't you? Nice to meet you. Caleb, you're the one who played the bass in the band JOY, aren't you? I've got a friend who really likes you, she thinks that you're really cute. Ha ha ha, I've always been labeled as cute. Why has no one ever said that I'm cool? Beauty Arya, you're pretty great yourself. I heard that you entered the film academy with top grades. Arya was a pretty pleasant person to be with when she was not angry. With the addition of the cheerful Arya to the trio of youngsters, they got along very well. It seems like director Jasper is going to use our extraordinary faces to support this movie. Caleb said. Arya pouted, I'm afraid that I can't act well. Even if it's cross-dressing, she's still a woman and they're asking me to be charmed by a woman. How difficult is that? I even have to sit on her lap in the scene today. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps already. Chapter 894. Caleb laughed and glanced at Diego. Be grateful for your situation. Someone's getting it worse than you. Arya nodded and laughed with him. That's true, Diego has to act like he doesn't even know it's a man and act friendly towards him, even falling in love. Diego looked moodily at them. As they were chatting happily, a young man walked towards them. He had slightly messy black hair, his bangs covering a little of his eyes. Wearing ripped jeans and black horse boots, the aura around him was unbelievable. Jasper put his work down and greeted him as soon as he saw him. The young man's sharp aura was suppressed a little when he saw Jasper. He listened carefully to what Jasper had to say and nodded from time to time. The director's assistant brought him a bottle of water and the man gave her a thankful smile as he took it from her. The mysterious man looked pretty normal when he was speaking to the director, but when he looked at the female assistant, his aura changed. He became warmer than the sun in the winter and even gentler than the water in spring. How sweet his gaze was. Then, the assistant ran away blushing. When the person appeared, Arya suddenly kept her voice down. She then stuttered, who's that? Who's that person talking to the director? Most of the people are already here but the secondary female lead will only be here a few days later. Today, the female lead and the secondary male lead are supposed to come, so, he should be Arthur? Caleb guessed. His inner instincts were on alert. He was already not the cool type of guy to make girls fall for him. Having Diego as the powerful male lead was already bad enough for him, and now even the secondary male lead looked so cool. Could he really shine in this movie? Arthur? Diego's expression changed as well and his sense of urgency rose. He had investigated the few leads beforehand and found Arthur pretty normal. What could have happened? Did something go wrong? As he was comforting himself, the director brought the man over and walked towards their direction. Jasper clapped his hands, signaling for them to come over. Come on over here. I'll introduce you guys. Diego tensed up, not expecting that it was really the secondary male lead. There could only be one top dog, yet Jasper had gotten this guy to act as the secondary male lead. What did he mean by this? Although Arya was looking at Diego just now, her eyes were now glued to this man, visibly charmed by his smile earlier. This is our male lead, Diego. This is the tertiary male lead, Caleb, and this little girl is going to act as the female lead's best friend, Aria. Jasper introduced them one by one. He then looked at the three of them squarely and announced, "This person beside me is our female lead, Luna." Chapter 895. What? Just as Caleb was about to shake hands with who he thought was Arthur, he froze when he heard the director's introduction. He asked carefully, "Director, what did you say just now?" Aria said suspiciously, "Director, are you sure you're not mistaken? Isn't he Arthur?" Jasper laughed at the three of them. "Who told you that?" Diego reevaluated the man in front of him again and gasped, She's Luna? The female lead?" Caleb asked again. "Director, are you sure? Don't try to fool us." Jasper smiled and shook his head. "Luna, explain to them." Luna looked helplessly at the director. "How do I explain? I just spent 2 hours to finish my preparation for this. It was not funny to ask her to change into a female outfit just for them right now." Jasper had no words. How could he be the female lead, and he doesn't look like Luna? Fine, maybe some key features do resemble her, but something's wrong. "Director, did you just find a guy to act as the female lead?" Aria asked. Caleb and Diego suddenly considered this possibility as well. Jasper was annoyed. Were kids nowadays all so imaginative? Luna held her forehead and put up a helpless smile, then she reached for Aria's hand. Aria's heart raced. What are you?" Caleb's eyes widened unhappily. How dare this guy just hold a girl's hand just like that? "Do something, director." The next moment, Luna put Aria's hand onto her chest, then asked, "Is it okay now?" "There, boobs." Aria cried out as she was touching Luna's chest. "She's really a woman. You're really the female lead." Although there was a thick layer of cloth wrapped around Luna's chest, she could still felt the unmistakable soft curve under her fingers. Both of them were women, so they must have had the experience of touching or being touched by another girl before, so why was this so awkward? Caleb's eyes flew open even bigger and his face was all red. Diego did not look very comfortable either. There could only be one top dog, unless there were a male and a female. Director Jasper was still being rational. Jasper knocked Luna's head. "That's enough, stop fooling around." Luna blinked. How was she fooling around? This was the quickest way to prove herself. "Sorry, I'm late." Suddenly, there was a panting voice behind them. The Real Arthur had arrived. As expected, Arthur looked more run-of-the-mill and seemed to be the gentle, far from the aggressive type, unlike Luna. The way she behaved herself could steal all the girls' hearts away. After confirming that she was a woman, Diego looked at Aria, who was too excited that she almost passed out. There was also the director's assistant who kept peeking over. Although he still did not feel very comfortable, he felt much better than just now. She was still a woman, so no matter how good she was at acting as a man, she was still acting. She could never overtake him in being a man, so his confidence was not eroded that badly. Chapter 896. After Arthur arrived, they introduced themselves again. Arthur was more introverted. He sat aside by himself and read the script after chatting a little with everyone. A while later, the setup for the scene was done. "All right, everyone. We're going to start. Luna, Aria, be prepared," Jasper informed. The first scene was about the female lead's best friend being betrayed by a jerk and the female lead comforting her. The female lead was named Sherry and she was currently assuming the identity of her brother Charles. This secret of hers was only known by her best friend Roma. 3, 2, 1, action. The shoot started. On the sofa in the living room, Sherry had just finished showering and wore a pair of men's loose pajamas. Her hair was a little messy and there was still a little steam emitting from her body as a result of the hot shower she had just taken. She took out a bottle of water from the fridge and sat on the sofa, turning on the TV. She was comfortably used to acting as a man, and there was no difference in Sherry's behavior compared to a man. Even the way she drank was really manly and cool. As she was watching TV, the door opened. Roma had just returned. Sherry greeted her as usual, "Welcome home." The camera's focus was shifted to Arya. Roma did not look up and just quietly grunted. She was not really in a good mood. Although she did not say anything, Sherry instantly realized that something was wrong, so she frowned. "What's wrong?" Roma walked slowly towards Sherry without saying anything. After a few seconds, Roma's shoulder was shivering lightly, then her whole body was trembling. In the next moment, her tears started to fall to the ground. "Third camera, close up," Jasper commanded while staring at the screen. Diego, Caleb, and Arthur were focused on the two of them. Arya stood in front of Luna with her head down. She did not even show her face, but her body language already displayed how sad she was at that moment. Caleb was impressed. As expected of the top scorer. Impressive. Luna moved. Roma still did not say anything, but Sherry understood what had happened. She was expecting this. She took Roma's hand and gently helped her onto her lap, using her finger to wipe off Roma's tears before she said in a heartbroken tone, "My dear, don't be sad over a guy. Your mother gave you such beautiful genes that aren't meant to be ruined by others. They're meant for you to ruin other people." Arya was suddenly touched when she heard that line, as it reminded her of her deepest scar, which Luna's gentleness had healed. She remembered her ex who had cheated on her. She recalled painfully how he chose to be with a more popular artiste in order to boost his career. She remembered walking home all by herself in a downpour that night, and she even attended a training the next day with a high fever. No one held her and comforted her, and no one told her, "Your mother gave you such beautiful genes isn't meant to be ruined by others, it's meant for you to ruin other people." Chapter 897. Suddenly, Arya's tears flowed freely, all her struggles coming out together with her silent sobbing. Sometimes, it was scary to be cared for by someone. A few female staff wept as well. Arya's tears were very impactful. Luna gently patted her back and comforted her. There, although you're also beautiful when you cry, my heart breaks." "Great. Cut," Jasper yelled in satisfaction. The first scene was done in one take and both of them had acted magnificently. Although Jasper had called for the cut, Arya could not stop. She was still crying in Luna's arms. Luna did not push her away and continued to comfort her, patting her head. Jasper's mouth twitched and stared at Luna. "Go easy on the newbie." Luna was speechless. Was it her fault again? Actors were generally separated into two types, the experienced ones and the performers. People like Diego and Arya who had graduated from film school were usually the performers. The experienced ones required a certain amount of aptitude and raw talent, which could not be taught by lecturing. There might only be one of such actors among millions of people. Luna was the typical experienced actor. She could practically transform into another person when she was acting, reaching astonishing levels of acting. However, people like Luna were rare. Taking their inexperience into account, these newbies were pretty good already. If the director had to teach them everything by his standards, it would take at least 1 or 2 years for the movie to be completed. For instance, his first movie took 2 years to make it to completion. Most movies nowadays took only about 2 to 3 months to complete, and some even finished shooting in a few days. No one would spend that much time to create a movie now. He was already prepared for a long shooting period this time, but it seemed like he could reduce this time frame by a big margin now. With Luna, it was like having a cheat machine. She was able to make her fellow actors get into the mood quickly and perform their best. Arya's performance just now had been triggered by Luna's acting. She had used her own experience and integrated it into her character, which was very much what an experienced actor would do. Arya was confused about what had just happened to her. She had suddenly lost control of herself. When she returned to her senses, Luna was comforting her gently and patiently. Luna's shoulders were wet from her tears. Arya quickly stood up apologetically. I'm sorry. It's all right. Luna smiled and patted her head again. You acted really well just now. Arya blushed. Her face was hot enough to cook an egg. She wanted to shrink into the ground. Somewhere nearby, Arthur's calm eyes widened, Diego frowned and was deep in thought while Caleb was annoyed. Whoever said that it was disgusting to sit on a woman's lap? She seemed really happy there and felt like she did not want to come down at all. Now that Arya was fawning all over a woman, the handsome men there felt worthless. Chapter 898. Arya went up to the camera after being praised by Luna. Director, may I see the footage just now? Sure. Jasper permitted. Arya replayed the footage a few times and her eyes widened in surprise. Oh my gosh, I acted so well. Aside from being excited about her performance, her heart raced when she saw Luna hold her in her lap. It felt so exciting, especially when Luna held her hand and pulled her down. Caleb came over and took a look as well. Some staff even cried with you just now. As expected of the top scorer. You passed on the first shot. The pressure to perform suddenly shot up after seeing Arya's outstanding performance. As they were all newbies, it was easy for them to compare among themselves. The fight was on among them. Arya shook her head. I've always thought I was confident about my own acting, but I don't think I can act this well on my own. It's because of Senior Luna. The scene with her was magical. I can't explain the feeling I had just now. It's like a pair of hands that were carefully guiding me to a higher level, coaxing me slowly and patiently. I can feel that she's helping me to get into the character. Caleb scratched his head skeptically. Aren't you exaggerating? I've seen her in The World. I admit that her acting is great, but there are a lot of capable actors in the industry as well. Diego looked at the footage. He acknowledged her impressive acting, but Arya's description was exaggerative. This woman just had a little advantage in her outlook and she acted well as a man. Arya waved her hands. I can't put it into words, you'll understand what I mean. She's really nice. It was comfortable acting with her. Too bad I don't have any scenes with the female lead today. Caleb mumbled. After listening to Arya, he would like to experience her special talent. Afterwards, both Diego and Arthur would have a scene with Luna. After the first scene, Luna went to her dressing room and prepared for her next scene. She would need some change in makeup as well. The makeup artist, Mona, had already prepared all the required outfits. When she saw Luna walk in, she put the hangers down and went up to her. Is the first scene done? So quick? It's done. I have to trouble you again, sissy. It's all right, come sit down and take a break. Mona pulled out a chair and gave her a drink, then she proceeded to get her makeup tools. The male and female leads were attending a banquet in the next scene. It was a formal setting, but the scene was not complicated. The male and the female lead in a male outfit would meet and have an amazing performance together. After the makeup was done, Mona gave her the prepared outfits. It might be a little difficult to wear this. Let me know if you need help. All right. Is the size okay? Mona asked outside the fitting room a while later. Yes. After she answered, the fitting room was opened and Luna appeared right before Mona in the new outfit. Chapter 899. Luna was dressed in an English-styled three-piece white tuxedo with a blue striped tie and a silver pocket watch on her chest. Mona suddenly saw a young man from a noble family standing in front of her. I'll help you adjust a little. Mona was suddenly nervous, as if afraid that she might destroy a beautiful dream. Thank you, Mona. Luna nodded and opened her arms wide. Her posture looked like she was about to hug someone. Mona blushed a little and extended her hands to the collar area as she adjusted her tie and the accessories that she was wearing. A person rushed in hastily and blocked Mona from Luna. While she tried to sound courteous, her tone was obviously unhappy. Mona, I'll handle this. Bonnie had gone to buy some snacks for the crew and she came back to a person seducing her master. Bonnie could not stand it anymore. This makeup artist had been already plotting something when she was putting on makeup for Luna in the morning. I'm Luna's exclusive makeup artist, it's my responsibility, Mona said slowly. She was older, so she had to impose a more mature and superior image. Makeup artists should just do the makeup. I'll handle her outfit. Her outfit is, of course, within my responsibility. How she looks is my responsibility. Although you're her assistant, you should leave this to the professionals. But Bonnie was obviously losing and she looked at Luna. A war was coming. Luna held Mona's shoulder and had her sit down on a nearby chair. You must be tired, Mona. Take a little break and let Bonnie handle the small matters. Please give her some guidance if she makes any mistake. Both of them were satisfied now. Bonnie happily replaced Mona's position and was pleased that Luna had defended her. Luna brought Mona a glass of water. Feeling trusted and cared for by Luna, she gladly sat down on the chair. The tie is still a little crooked and the back is slightly wrinkled as well. Take it down later and I'll iron it. Mona felt a little excited when she remembered what had happened this morning. When she first saw Luna, from her professional judgment, she thought that Luna's near-perfect facial contour could fool others even if she was to dress up as a guy. However, she was utterly stunned when she saw Luna walk out of the fitting room. She was the one who did Luna's makeup. It was still the same Luna after she had changed, but her whole image had totally changed. A breathtaking beauty had suddenly become a playboy. At first, she expected that it would not be too weird if Luna acted as a man, but she did not expect her to be this gorgeous. And now, Luna just stood there quietly, letting Bonnie work around her with a slight sense of extremely attractive laziness. After Luna was done, Mona held her glass and just stared at Luna blankly. Let's have a moment of silence for the male lead. Chapter 900. Bonnie took a few steps away from Luna and announced, let's have a moment of silence for all the male characters in the movie. Luna, oh no. Luna bro. Why is it that I've never realized that you look this cool in a male outfit? Luna raised her eyebrows questioningly. Don't I look good in anything I wear? Luna bro, please, don't look at me like that. Bonnie was covering her chest as if she was being seduced. Luna smiled and looked in the mirror, then she saw Mona in the reflection. Thank you, Mona, the makeup is perfect. Their eyes met in the mirror. You're welcome, your skin is great and your facial features are impeccable. It was so good that I didn't have to do much about it. From her professional experience, with just a touch, she instantly knew that Luna was a pure natural and had never gone under the knife. Moreover, wasn't her acting skills advanced? She was a real beautiful woman, yet she had no problem acting as a man at all. What was more impressive was that it did not seem like Luna was acting at all. It seemed like a part of her natural self, that casual flirty aura of hers channeled from inside her. Outside, Diego was done changing already. Diego had his own makeup artist, whose level was nearly the same as Mona's. After putting the makeup on, Diego's outstanding face became even more glamorous, as if God had a hand in his makeup personally. Oh my gosh. Diego is so cool in a formal suit. So manly. Arya gushed. The staff and the other actors looked over as well. Wow, this guy is really handsome. Is he the male lead? Yes. I heard he's the trump card of speedy multimedia. His future is almost as bright as Adam's. No wonder director Jasper picked him. Caleb was standing in the corner. For someone who had been branded as cute, he hated guys who were more handsome or manlier than him. But it was not his fault that he was this cute. He quietly went beside Arthur, who was having it worse than him. He still stood out. Cute was a unique feature after all. However, Arthur, he was not ugly, he was just too normal, looking no different from a man in the regular crowd. How could they find someone as normal as him to act as the secondary male lead? Nevertheless, after seeing Luna's performance just now, he was careful about assessing director Jasper's judgment. I have to admit that Diego's face is really handsome. No wonder his company is cultivating him to become the second Adam. Some people are just made to be in this industry, the life of the main character. Caleb shook his head and sighed with the intention of getting some agreement from Arthur. Arthur leaned on the hallway pillar and looked at Diego, not bothering to give a reaction. Jasper glanced at Diego in satisfaction, but there was a slight worry in his eyes. He waved and asked Diego to go over. Although there are only a few lines and not much is going on in this scene, it's actually pretty difficult.